So a few months ago, the Star Wars Insider Fiction Collection Volume 1 was announced. Basically what this is a compilation of Star Wars Expanded Universe Insider stories. This is being released by Titan Publishing, and honestly, for Expanded Universe fans, this is really good news. Many of these stories have been a pain in the butt for EU fans to track down for years. If you didn't already have them, the only way to find them would be in old issues of Star Wars Insider, and the only way to find old issues of Star Wars Insider would be on the secondhand market. You'd have to search through used bookstores or on eBay, and if there's one specific issue you're looking for, you'd have to wait for someone else to put it up for sale, so you're not always guaranteed to find it. This collection solves that problem wholesale. If you'll remember, it's actually something that I specifically asked for in my 10 Things I Want to See from Lucasfilm video.
Number 4. Re-releasing harder to find EU stories. Tracking down physical copies of more obscure stories can often be really challenging. You'll likely find yourself trying to purchase them secondhand off eBay or a used bookstore, if they're even available at all. Sure, Star Wars books will be around forever. They are constantly reprinting the popular adult novels, and you can easily pick them up from bookstores around the world. But Star Wars adventure journals, insider short stories, and especially children's and young adult books have only come out once. And the stories from the online Hyperspace fan club aren't available in print at all. Just because they may not be as popular as the Thrawn trilogy doesn't mean people won't buy them. I propose that these harder to collect short stories from the Expanded Universe be released in anthology books. That would make these stories that have only shown up in a single issue of a magazine be more widely available to the public. At least back in the day, some stories from the adventure journals got put into collections, like Tales from the Empire and Tales from the New Republic. But with new anthology books, other stories that were only available in hyperspace could be introduced to non-subscribers for the first time, and Lucasfilm will be able to make a profit on all of it. Plus, you could even create new covers for these collections. As for kids and YA Star Wars books like Jedi Apprentice or Jedi Quest, for example, I'm genuinely surprised that Scholastic hasn't been reprinting these books constantly. Star Wars has and always will be popular with kids, so I don't understand why they don't keep these books in print. These days, kids won't be able to walk into a Barnes & Noble and pick up a book about Jason and Jaina's adventures in the Jedi Academy, and that makes me a little sad. Adult novels and comics aren't the only Star Wars media that deserve to be reprinted.
Lucasfilm, or in this case Titan Publishing, is basically giving me exactly what I asked for. As disappointed as I've been with how Lucasfilm is currently running Star Wars, the one thing I can give them credit for is they've actually been fairly good at reprinting material from the EU/Legends universe. They've been reprinting novels, and they're collecting comics in their Marvel Epic collections, and now with this Insider collection, I can actually give Lucasfilm a thumbs up and tell them this is a good move. But if I can give just a little criticism, the only reason I've heard about this news is because I follow a lot of EU people online, and we're all excited about it, but there has been hardly any promotion for this collection on official pages or fan sites. Hopefully that will change once we get closer to the release date, but I feel like Lucasfilm and Titan Publishing are kinda shooting themselves in the foot by not enthusiastically promoting it as much as they could be. Anyway, on Penguin Random House's website, to which I'll leave a link in the description, it reads, Star Wars Insider, the official magazine of the Star Wars saga, presents an amazing collection of exclusive short stories from the galaxy far, far away. Includes tales starring iconic characters such as Han Solo, Princess Leia, Lando Calrissian, and Darth Vader. This collection also features stories showcasing supporting characters such as Darth Plagueis, Hondo Ohnaka, Captain Rex, and Darth Revan. Includes fiction written by renowned best-selling Star Wars authors such as Jason Fry, Matthew Stover, John Ostrander, and Paul S. Kemp. This volume also includes stunning art from some of the saga's best-loved interpreters, including Joe Corney, Brian Rood, Jan Duursema, and Magali Villanueva. Very awesome. It's $25 if you live in the US, and it comes out on March 23rd, 2021. But you can pre-order now, and if any of this sounds interesting to you, I highly, highly recommend you do so. Now, in more recent news, before Volume 1 of the Insider Collection has even been released, Volume 2 has already been announced, and it's interesting. I'll just read the description for Volume 2 to show you what I mean, and I'll leave a link in the description. Star Wars Insider, the official magazine of the Star Wars saga, presents a stunning collection of exclusive tales, both legends and current continuity, from the galaxy far, far away. A collection of exciting short stories featuring tales that will take you from the Battle of Endor to the desolate world of Jakku. The stories, which cover both legends and tales that fit within the current Star Wars continuity, feature popular characters such as Hondo Ohnaka, Lando Calrissian, Asajj Ventress, and Princess Leia. Written by renowned best-selling Star Wars authors including Alan Dean Foster, Moore Lafferty, Alexander Freed, David J. Williams, and Mark S. Williams. This volume also includes stunning art from several of the saga's best-loved interpreters, including Brian Rood, Joe Corney, Brian Miller, Chris Travis, and Chris Scalf. Yeah, pretty crazy, right? An official collection of stories from both Legends and New Canon in the same book. I think this might be a first in franchise history. In theory, I'm sort of okay with it, but there's a few takeaways that we can gather from this. Volume 2, despite having both canon and legend stories in it, still has the Legends banner on the front cover. Not to sound too conspiratorial, but why would they do this? Sure, it has legend stories in it, but why not just leave the banner off the book and promote it as the first Disney canon Star Wars Insider collection, and just leave a section in the back for Legends? One possible conclusion you could draw from this is that they are marketing this book more towards Legends fans, because they would be the group of Star Wars fans more interested in a book like this. Titan Publishing seems to assume that this book would sell more copies with the banner on it than without it, which I find very interesting. Maybe the EU/Legends fans are a demographic worth marketing to and creating new content for after all. Maybe they're trying to advertise the new canon to EU fans. I can understand them wanting to do that too. As I've mentioned time and again, promote both canons to both groups of fans and you'll increase sales for both audiences once EU fans start getting into the new canon and new canon fans start getting into the EU. Unlike what they have been doing the past 7 years, which would be only promoting the new canon and ignoring EU fans for the most part. I know some EU fans are upset by the news of this Volume 2, because it's like blurring the lines between canon and legends, which I can definitely understand. I'm hoping on the inside of the book, they actually clarify which stories belong with which continuity. Otherwise, that would absolutely be blurring the lines between canon and legends, and not something I would appreciate. I would also be curious to know how many stories fall in each of the continuities. Is it half and half? Is it mostly new canon? Is it mostly expanded universe? Is that maybe why the Legends banner is on the front cover? We don't know yet. As I mentioned earlier, I don't mind some new canon stories in this collection. But if that's the case, I would still want it to be mostly expanded universe. That's the continuity I choose to support, and that's why I am personally holding off on pre-ordering this one. If you're still interested in pre-ordering it though, I totally understand, and I'll put a link in the description if you want to. However, once I do get more information about this collection, I will make up my mind. I'm leaning towards getting it because I do like the idea of having all the Legends Insider stories in hardcover. I'm going to assume that after this, there aren't going to be any more Insider collections that include Legends stories in them, and probably is just going to be the new canon. They probably didn't have enough Legends Insider stories for a whole Volume 2, which is why they're mixing them in the first place. Volume 3 is probably going to be new canon only. I'd be surprised if it was anything else. Speaking of the future, in my 10 things I want to see from Lucasfilm video, I also mentioned getting physical collections for other harder to find EU stories no longer in print, like the kids' books or the hyperspace fiction stories. I think reprinting those would be a good next step for getting those old stories in more accessible formats. Trust me, I'm ecstatic that we're getting these Insider collections. But hey, while you guys are marketing to EU fans, this would be another thing you could do. And hey, if you really are upset about canon stories showing up in a Legends collection, or vice versa, consider this. Since Lucasfilm or Titan Publishing doesn't have any qualms about it, maybe we'll start to see new Legends short stories appear in Star Wars Insider again. It's not something I expect them to do, but I also didn't expect them to do the Insider collections in the first place. Maybe a brand new line of Legends books or comics would be too much to ask for, since Lucasfilm probably has their hands full with the High Republic. But the occasional Legends short story popping up in an issue of Insider every now and again, even if the rest of the magazine focuses solely on the new canon, I could actually see that happen. How about you guys? What are your thoughts on all this? Are you interested in getting Volume 1 and or Volume 2 of these Insider collections? Are you totally against what they are doing with Volume 2? Or maybe you're going to wait and see like I am? Let me know in the comment section below.